what freaked you out the most? Because I feel like the Beetlejuice head on the snake, that freaked me out.
Yeah, the face stretch thing. That scene where he like goes to hold her hand and it crumbles.
Yeah,
dude, that fucked me up.
that one
as a
does
kid.
hit me.
Dude, what was the part that upset you the most?
Nothing. I'm not a coward.
Man getting bit by an alligator screaming.
Swallow this.
Welcome back to Reasonably Afraid. Episode doesn't matter. If you listen to this on a regular basis, you already know what episode
it is.
Yeah, you're good. You don't need a number. What are numbers anyway?
And also, if you watch this regularly and you don't know what episode is, that's fine too.
Yeah.
You don't need to know. You can just do your thing.
Numbers are just a box you put yourself in. Be free.
You can always tell the kids that are bad at math because we all say shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
We're all like, numbers are like your imagination. Anyway, today, in honor of a new movie coming out, and it's 26 years. Is that? I think it might be. No, 30. Is it 36 years?
Since the last Beetlejuice movie?
Beetlejuice?
Yeah, I think so.
Beetlejuice.
Oh, my God.
We did it. One of the few PG movies that has the word fuck in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was during the 80s when they were still trying to figure out, what it means to be PG-13. They had to bring in the PG-13 rating after.
Is this before Jaws?
This is after Jaws, but they brought in the PG-13 rating was actually brought in because of the ripping the heart out.
Oh, in Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Because as it turns out, it made a lot of kids upset. Beetlejuice, Tim Burton's film that, weirdly enough, hot off of Pee-wee's Big Adventure,
Yep. Getting ready to mold a generation.
Man, really, we really...
Shut up, Turner.
Don't you...
Pee-wee, what is his deal again?
He jerks off in movie theaters.
Is that what it is?
Here's what's fucked up. Here's what's fucked up about what happened to him. He jerked off in an adult movie theater.
Oh.
Like, that's what everybody used to do.
What's your problem? You just made him look worse than what he was.
Oh yeah. Well, because I said movie theater.
Yeah.
Well, is porn not cinema?
No, but the implication there is that he did in a regular theater.
It was.
I know, that's why I said it like that.
It was unfair because
you're like, I did exactly what you accused me of.
It was unfair though, because back in the day, the porn theaters were still regular because everybody didn't have as we discussed the VHS era and all that.
So weird.
Like VHS, when that all happened, there was still porn theaters. Not everybody had VHS and stuff. It was pretty.
Well, because they were $900 machines, right?
Yeah, I mean they were more inexpensive then whenever that happened to him.
Yeah.
I think it was 1990, maybe earlier.
Oh.
But it was it was definitely unfair of him to be sure, not great, but also was that's what everybody was doing in those. Dudes would go into theaters.
But was there a rule? I'm assuming there was a rule in that theater that was hey, don't jerk off in our theater.
Yeah, you got to be discreet. It's it's like how people just fucking vape in restaurants they're not supposed to or whatever. Is that a thing? I don't know.
No, I've
airplanes is a big thing. People try to vape in airplanes all the time.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also, this is equivalent to vaping on an airplane.
Wait, but that's crazy. Why would you go? So you just go there to get blue balls? What the?
Essentially, I think so.
If you play by the rules.
I mean, the only instance of porn movies or theaters that I've seen was Taxi Driver. Was the only other depiction of it that I have in my head was Taxi Driver, where he brings Robert De Niro characters brings a date onto a porn theater.
Oh yeah.
She was like, I've never been to this movie theater, and he's like, yeah, we're gonna go watch a movie.
That was dumb.
Yeah.
All right, let's get off this Pee Wee Herman porn thing.
Oh yeah, I went on for way too long.
No, it was good. It was like lore to the episode.
Yeah.
But I think when we derail a little bit, that's not bad either. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to derail just a tad bit. you know, and especially like the Midsummer episode. I was listening to that recently, and it's just like it just get into how you should do mushrooms properly in the middle of
Multiple
this
times.
multiple times, you know. And I think you know, I think I helped some people.
Oh no, I could tell you're a huge fan of that.
Yeah, I wanted people to have good trips, and that's what I did that for. But yeah,
You're
back
a real
on people-
altruist.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe in the healing power of mushrooms.
Well, speaking of mushrooms, Tim Burton's directing style and the aesthetic, I mean, it really feels like a hallucination. It's really incredible, the amount and the stuff they were able to do with practical effects. I mean, it's 1988. Like,
Yeah,
that's pretty wild given that
it is like peak Burton style.
for sure.
Like
yeah.
this is like Burton on his stride.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing that I would argue that is more of a like Tim Burton style movie would be like Nightmare Before Christmas,
Yeah.
where it's just like, well, yeah, that's all claymation, so he gets to stylize everything. But it's just like even the things that he doesn't really stylize too much, like the interior design of the house itself, it's just so Tim Burton.
Yeah.
It's just like, I do not believe that this gay man stylized this house. That was Tim Burton did that, you know? Because clearly it's like way too spooky for, you know. I'm not saying gay people don't get spooky.
Do you have actually? Is that a problem then? Is that a problem with the movie? You're like, you know what?
You know what?
This isn't the character. This is Tim.
This is Tim.
This
yeah.
needs to be gayer.
Yeah.
Make it gayer.
Well, no, because like that character doesn't even really have like a goth aesthetic, but
Yeah.
then he does the design of the house to look goth-ish. Where I was just like, that's the only thing that I was just like, well,
I felt like they were trying to go for more of the like dark, sleek New York socialite style of the 80s that was going on. Like
Yeah.
some of it, some of that has a crossover with the gothic look a little bit.
I know, I kind of know what you're talking about. If we're talking like 80s Coke room style, like that.
They're called bathrooms, Ray.
Well, I mean, there is like lots of
Well.
mirrors, you know, lots of
Yeah.
mirror tables, you know. There is like I don't remember what the specific name for that decor style, but it's I've heard it get called like 80s Coke room before. I don't remember that style specifically, but there is a certain style. But there's a lot of blacks, there's a lot of golds, kind of similar to that shit. Think Scarface. Like Scarface's house. Tony Montana's house. It's that like 80s chic kind of like very, very bright reds.
You know what this house could have used? A mound of cocaine and an M60.
Yeah, well look what you're trying to say that it was more 80s, but I don't agree. I think it was more Tim Burton, that interior decorating style. Those weird ass sculptures. I get why they were in the movie, but I was just like, yeah, this feels less 80s socialite and more just Tim Burton's creative mind. Is that crazy?
I don't know. I just thought it was funny.
Crazy?
I did not know you're gonna rant about this.
Oh yeah, I didn't think I was
dude.
gonna rant about it either until he fucking brought it up, and I was just like, hold on.
Well,
He just got motivated out of nowhere.
I guess. I mean,
I've been reading a lot about 80s architecture, and let me tell you.
No, I just do a lot of like, I don't know, interior decorating or interior decor. Like, I don't know, it's a part of my TikTok, and like clearly I did all this shit. I like interior design. Fucking sue me. Sue me. I like interior design.
hey. Also, you
offensive today.
assumed that guy was gay in the movie. The interior decorator. He was never explicitly gay.
It's a great point.
Just
That
because he
is a
liked
good
interior design. Are you projecting?
I'm saying, are you calling me gay?
The whole time he's like, I feel like I could have done a better job.
He's like,
I do feel like I could have done a better job.
There it is.
Does that make me gay?
I mean, it makes you gayer.
Yeah, you do gay just fine on your own. We're really nailing it.
That was
Guys.
great.
All right, so the cast has Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis, Winona Ryder, Michael Keaton, Catherine O'Hara, Jeffrey Jones, Dick Cavett, Robert Goulet. Yeah, dude, there's this.
His name's Dick Cavett.
I feel like I've heard Dick Cavett's name before.
Oh,
We're okay.
Cavett.
Oh,
Cavett.
you thought it's Dick Havoc?
you think it was
Like,
Dick
you gotta
Havoc?
have it. Like,
Have it? Oh,
I
here's
bet
some
that's a
Dick
joke he
Cavett.
said in high school, though.
Yeah. Dick.
yeah, I'm sure.
Have
no
it.
one's- It's
Go
so
on,
funny. Like,
take it.
I don't want it anymore.
classic Americana stuff with Dick Cavett. There, we'll have to delve into him another time. But you as comedians, you guys should probably know who Dick Cavett is at some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look
But
into that.
I didn't say I
Honestly,
didn't know who he was.
I did.
Go ahead.
Or if I didn't.
Tell us who Dick Cavett
I
is.
have no idea.
There it is.
I don't really know people, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert Goulet, famous sketch that you might know of Will Ferrell's. Good evening, I'm Robert Goulet, and then he was just like sang songs for 2 seconds. La-da-da-da. That's like
Yeah.
pretty much the only connection that I think anybody younger than like 40 would have to that, because I don't. So we're talking about the original titles of what this movie was going to be called. The working script was called House Ghosts.
God, that's awful.
Yeah, everybody hated it.
House Ghost?
Yeah, they were all just like, because a lot of times they just to get a project started, because you're gonna have to
Yeah.
you have to bring in a lot of people who decide on what
Yeah.
the final name is. Producers and people who might not necessarily, especially back
Yeah.
in the 80s. Like you like it wasn't like you wrote a script and they go, we'll stick with that name. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You got-
Remember how we talked about some of Tim Burton's like kind of controversial statements
Mhm.
on like race? How fucking hard would that have been if he had a fucking movie called House Ghost? God, they would have ate him alive, dude.
Wait, we talked about that? Was I involved in that?
I don't.
No,
No.
it was just he and I were talking
Me
about
and him were talking. He's got Tim Burton got into some trouble about like certain statements that he made that were about like his movies and the way he cast and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was It was literally everyone white.
Yeah, most people
Yeah.
were white. Yeah.
No, not most. I was literally everyone, or am I wrong?
I think there was a football player that was black.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was one football player was black.
We got there.
Oh yeah, unnamed football player
Yeah,
7.
he
Yeah,
does
yeah,
mostly cast white people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the
Yeah,
other
we don't have to get into more.
there's stuff you can Google it.
Yeah, I'm not defending him. You Google it. You have fun with that.
I was
So-
about to I'm going to compliment this movie. I mean, the performances were so good.
yeah.
No, I'm just-
So at one point, when they were trying to come up with a name that was going to be the actual permanent name, Tim Burton jokingly said "Scared Sheetless," and this is why producers shouldn't be allowed many times to actually pick things. They liked it, and he was like, "No, I was kidding. Please
Yeah.
don't do that." And they were like, "Scared Sheetless. Let's make it happen."
That's like when Sean wanted to call the podcast a bunch of whores, and I was just like, fuck yes!
That's
Yeah.
not like that
A
at all.
bunch of whores.
I was trying
That's
to.
not like that at all. That was. What do you mean? That was good. I was being serious.
No, I knew you were being serious.
No, you were being serious, and he was like, "This will be a fun troll thing to do to Zach." And then you guys.
No,
you guys-
I was behind.
That's what you just said. I feel like, and now I'm hurt,
I thought you said it
A bunch of
jokingly,
whores.
and I was just like, oh, no, that's actually good.
dude. A bunch
And
of
then I
whores
got
was
behind
good.
it.
Thank you, because it is.
I think it is good. I wasn't sure if you thought it was good, or if you just
Oh,
said that
I
to
was
troll.
well aware of what I created.
Okay, so you're right. It's nothing like that.
It was so good.
It was good.
Guys,
It's
go
like
ahead.
it's like if Sean said Beetlejuice, and I was like Beetlejuice, and you were like
Beetlejuice.
No.
Oh no.
Did we say it 3 times?
Yeah.
Beetlejuice.
Fucking Billy pops out of there.
Mhm.
So this movie
What
was
is Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice.
No, 'cause we're talking about the name.
I can tell you.
What is he?
Beetlejuice is a bright red star in the constellation of Orion.
Okay.
It's actually
'cause I
spelled
was wondering-
Betelgeuse.
That makes sense. I was wondering. I was like, do beetles have and this is serious. Like, did they have juice inside?
Oh, they got
Yeah.
juice. You never killed a beetle?
No.
Squishy. Dude.
Yeah.
Really?
Fucking squishertons.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude.
What about
So you don't have that in the morning. That's not your beet juice, or orange juice too.
nice?
Beetlejuice is like concentrated beet juice, huh? Because there's a lot less.
Holy shit.
In
We were really watching Sean push a boulder up a hill on that one, dude.
not helping one
I'll
bit.
tell you what.
Just watching it roll over him.
We're just like, I'm not touching this one.
I mean, no, it's just like it's funny that the whole movie's called Beetlejuice. Not one single beetle, I think, in the entire
No, there is a beetle
one.
when he's doing charades with Lydia.
Oh.
Yeah, he brings up a beetle and she goes, "Beetle."
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Fucked his ass.
Yeah.
Well,
Fuck you.
where's the juice?
He does orange juice.
No, where's the Beetle's juice?
Oh, well,
In
I
its
mean,
body.
He should have said, you
In
know what he
his
could have
body.
done? One word. Beetlejuice. Here's a bottle of it.
yeah. How about I do a remake of Beetlejuice, but it's just the cast is full of beetles, but it's just the movie Juice with Tupac.
What? That's a movie?
Juice with Tupac?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, dude. All right.
Welcome back to Juice with Tupac.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's the whitest thing you could have said.
Ironically,
Today
he
we're
does
looking
look
at
like he's in the
Cranberry.
early. He does look like he's in the early '90s. Look at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. His shirt has more Nancy Pelosi vibes than anything else.
That's what I'm going for.
Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, when they did the Juneteenth thing and like Nancy Pelosi put the it's the vibes it's given.
It's give. I wanted to go with like a hot, sexy Nancy Pelosi that just tried pot. for
Yeah,
the
you
first
nailed it.
time.
Turner, what
Started
do you
listening
no.
to Tupac.
Turner, get over here.
Come on,
Come
dude.
here. Come here.
Psycho, dude.
Come here right now.
Sean just starts beating him.
Hey, turn the cameras off real quick.
What are you, a cop? All right. This movie was Netflix's first DVD they ever mailed out.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
In 1998.
Who'd they mail it to?
Me. I
Yeah,
never
me.
returned it.
Yeah, let me check here. It says Michael Keaton. No.
Yeah.
You know Michael Keaton's character is only in 14.5 minutes of the
Wait,
entire
Michael Keaton
film.
is in this?
I hate you. I thought it was Christian Bale.
I thought it was Christian Bale.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Wait,
like-
and so was Dick Gotta Have It?
You gotta have it. It's great, dude.
but Beetlejuice, the title character of the film, is only in 15 minutes of it. And the movie's, it's 92 minutes. I mean, that's pretty wild. Like
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it takes a while for him to show up.
Yeah.
And even when he does, they keep putting him back in the box.
Got to put him back in the box. He's too fast, too furious.
It's funny. I feel like Beetlejuice is to the movie Beetlejuice that Jack Sparrow is to Pirates of the Caribbean. Does it make sense?
No, because it wasn't in it a lot, or am I tripping? I feel like I only saw the.
Yeah, but the movie's not about him.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely in it more, but it's the use of the character is similar.
The use of the character is similar.
Yeah.
Who's it about?
Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah.
The friends that we made along the way. Really?
All right. Well,
I'm sorry that was such a tough question. You said it wasn't about him.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not. The first one's definitely not about Jack Sparrow. It's more about like
the economy or something.
yeah, kind of.
the economy. What the
It's about a
fuck?
curse on a ship.
All right.
Whatever.
So
It's about pirates.
we're moving on.
Yeah.
So Catherine O'Hara from Home Alone, which I don't think had been made yet at this point, because I think that was 1990, right? Something like that.
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh
Anyway,
shit, she is the mom in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's also in Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, she's really good at playing an unloving mother.
I think she's just forgetful in the other one. You know?
yeah.
Oops, forgot my son. You know how people
Yeah,
do.
she's like, I hid neglect, I hid abuse. It's all there.
She does play wealthy New York, like awful New Yorker, I guess, in multiple things. She married Bo Welch, the production designer from the film Beetlejuice. Isn't that cute?
Which is also crazy because like Welch is like the,
Also a juice.
yeah, juice. So Bo Welch,
Oh.
I see the theme for Sean of this episode. It's all juice.
juice.
Yeah.
He finds a thing and he grabs on. So Tim Burton actually thought that they would be good together, and he kept kind of nudging him along. He's like, "You should ask her out. You should."
Mm.
So he finally got the guts to do it. They went out on a couple of dates. Next thing you know, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. They married.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. I wish Tim Burton had that same fucking bravado, that same gusto in his own relationships.
Go ahead. What are you talking about
don't know.
there?
His relationships with
Well,
black
he-
people.
Yeah.
No, say that's what we're all thinking.
Nah, I was gonna talk about his divorce with what's her name?
Helena Bonham Carter?
Yeah. How'd you say her name?
Helena Bonham Carter?
He says it with such a fucking rhythm. Say it again.
Yeah.
Helena Bonham Carter?
I could fucking rap to that. That's beautiful.
Helena Bonham Carter. I like Molly. I like Sprite.
Now,
Hello,
Tim
Bonham.
Burton, was he
Yeah.
named after Tim Hortons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was named after a thing that's not his name.
It's
God damn
you
it,
gotta
Sean.
give me. Come on,
Yeah.
it's a little close. It definitely would raise eyebrows. I'm not the only one thinking it.
What?
That they're similar. Everyone's thinking.
No,
about
you were
it.
thinking. You were the only one
I
thinking. It.
I said
In this
what-
room?
well, this room's an anomaly.
Yeah, I know. We're a bunch of weirdos.
You guys don't even see the association between Tim Burton and Tim Horton. Get a load of yourself.
Like Horton hears a who?
No, like Tim Hortons, it's a Canadian donut shop. Very big, very big. It's like the Dunkin' Donuts of Canada.
It's coffee and donuts of Canada, but they also have it like all up north. Did you not know this?
Do I look like I know things about Canadians?
No, honestly, you don't. That's a good
No.
point.
No.
All right. So,
Yeah.
so fun facts we're jumping into. When they go into the office and there's that receptionist lady, you know, and she's the
Mhm.
office clerk or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I love that scene so much.
Yeah, she's great in that. That's
Yeah,
such
I
a
mean,
fun
she's great.
scene.
That entire, like, what I like about that scene, and I was thinking about this while we were watching it, is every character, like, has its own story.
Mhm.
And,
Yeah.
like, there's so much attention to detail on, like, you know, the guy who got ran over, you know, the receptionist, she's got a wrist cut.
Yeah.
She was clearly a pageant girl who lost and then killed herself.
And there's
you know-
a great callback to that
Yeah.
when they're during the dinner scene. Go ahead, say it, John. Drop that knowledge.
That they go back and they say if you kill yourself that you end up in the afterlife as a civil servant.
Did they really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe I missed that.
Sean's fucking in there, boy.
Mhm.
Dude, I'm like freaking putting these movies in a corner and saying, "Hey, you got nowhere to go. I'm gonna read you."
Nice, dude. Hell
Yeah, dude.
Look
So-
at me. I'm watching you, movie.
So when the football players enter that office later in the movie, there's actually a voice that comes over the PA system. It says, Flight 409 arriving at Gate 3. Flight 409 is a reference to a plane crash that happened in Wyoming October 6th, 1955, and to that point was seen as one of the biggest tragedies of air travel to that date.
Oh my.
Isn't that
Mm.
fun?
Mm.
And those football players are a reference to you guys ever seen the movie Marshall?
Yeah.
One with the
No, I actually haven't.
okay, it's
I said yeah, but
Yeah.
then like I was halfway.
well, it's a about this football team in the 70s that
Mhm.
crashes and a bunch of them die. Some of them lived. But
Oh.
remember, I was like, Coach, I don't think we made it. Like, I don't think we made it to that plane crash. That's all referencing these two, like, massive events in American history.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, if this movie came out after 2001, that would have been a different reference.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was
Oh,
actually
okay.
like 10 movies that had plane crash references in them, and they scrapped every single one of them after 9/11.
Oh yeah.
One of them was Survivor, which is a Chuck Palahniuk book, same guy that wrote Fight Club. And that was, it has like someone hijacking a plane in it, and they were like, absolutely not, and it never got picked up again.
Yeah. Did you watch that clip of Friends that I sent you? There's a Friends sketch or like a bit where like he makes a joke about having a bomb on the plane, and they scrapped the whole bit.
Fucking pussies.
Yeah, it's
Push
like a
the
5-minute bit. It's actually a
boundaries.
good bit. Like,
Yeah?
yeah, with like the context of 9/11. Yes,
Yeah.
but
Push
they
the-
didn't write it with the context of 9/11. But the context makes it funnier. I honestly think they just should have kept it, but they didn't have the balls to keep it.
Did you see the jokes that they did at the roast of Hugh Hefner, where they did 9/11 jokes, and the whole audience was like, boo. Like they were so mad.
Really?
Yeah, and then that's how Gilbert Gottfried wound up doing the aristocrats joke at the roast of Hugh Hefner, because everybody was like he did like 2 9/11 jokes, and and then I think one of them was like one of the jokes somebody made was like, oh god, it's nice to see that this isn't the only bombing in this city this week or something like that.
That's fucking
Just
crazy.
Dark shit, and then he saved it by just being like, a family goes into a talent agent's office and they're fisting and the fucking. It's a lot
Gilbert
of fun.
Godfrey was a goat.
Yeah, he's a fucking maniac, dude. Oh, the guy got fired from being a duck. That's wild.
Yeah.
He was the Aflac duck. And
Really?
then
Yeah.
but then he like tweeted some jokes about like a tsunami that killed a bunch of people. So they fired him.
Yeah.
They were like, "You can't be our duck with these jokes." Anyway,
What do you mean? Those people need insurance.
I honestly I like how like for like years time plus tragedy equals comedy.
Mhm.
But like for years canceled comics have been like, it's been enough time.
Yeah.
Like, dude, let it fucking let it sizzle.
yeah, maybe sit with
Right.
it for a moment.
Yeah.
Speaking of death, that's the transition. The character Otho, who was not gay that we know of,
Yes.
but was a designer. Anyway, his name
In
was
touch with his feminine side.
Yeah, Glenn Shannon. Glenn Shannon. He died in 2010, and at his funeral, the last song they played was "Deo," and everybody like danced. And
Really?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. And I would like that at my funeral. So if one of you can make sure that happens.
Yeah, for sure.
And everybody was just so confused. Like, what the fuck? Why? There says no connection to Zach.
No, it's a reference to a movie
And it's
he
just
watched.
Sean going like this in the background.
Yeah.
Ew.
Can you feel this, Zach?
Can
Can you feel this moment?
So the concept of the film actually did come out of the idea when screenwriter was watching Poltergeist, thought about this idea, this concept of sort of reverse poltergeist, where like the living are haunting the ghost, where these people are. So that's kind of a cool.
Yeah.
It is an interesting thought to have while watching Poltergeist, though. 'Cause it's so intense.
But you can also like having watched Poltergeist and knowing that,
Mhm.
you can kind of see like there's a couple scenes where like I feel like are sort of similar to scenes in Poltergeist,
Yeah.
especially that snake scene where Beetlejuice becomes a snake and just like starts terrorizing them. There's one scene in Poltergeist where like the ghosts are just going nuts.
Yeah.
And it just like shit is morphing, shit is going crazy. Where I'm like, oh, okay, I can see
Yeah.
the overlap there.
Well, you were on the money with the idea about the script seeming more dark and like everything kind of being a little bit darker than it came across. I think in the final product of the film, but yeah, there was a lot of stuff in this that was supposed to be darker, and
Right.
slowly through, script revisions and like casting choices and stuff, they actually started to go like, oh, we like this can be funnier than it is, like dark.
Right,
really
right.
get a balance. Because originally, the couple Adam and Barbara, they were gonna have like really gruesome deaths.
Really?
Yeah, and Beetlejuice was supposed to be like fucking demonic. Like he was gonna still have like a funny edge to him, but he was gonna be like a fucking problem. Like he was gonna be like hellish,
Yeah.
which is kind of crazy. Oh, and also in one of the alternate endings, Lydia was gonna die in a fire and then go into the afterlife with them and just be their own little weird family.
That'd be dark.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, I almost feel like that wouldn't have been as bad if she didn't die in a gruesome death. I feel like that kind of the movie almost feels like geared towards that because they do reference a miscarriage very early on in the movie.
Yeah.
And so it very much seemed like the couple was looking to like fill that void of having a kid.
Yeah.
There's a whole talk on like this house is too big for just you two.
Yeah.
The idea is that they're trying to have a family, but they couldn't have a family. Then they die, and then Lydia shows up, who's seemingly looking for parental figures because her parental figures aren't there.
Yeah.
And it kind of plays out like that Last of Us vibe of like, these aren't the parents that I ended up with, but they're the parents I chose type of thing.
Well, and that was sort of what happened with once they realized that because of her being suicidal and stuff, and then she winds up like dying and get to be with him in the afterlife. Everybody was sort of like, oh, we don't want to like promote like the idea that like, hey, you know what's better than being alive? You can go be with all your friends.
Yeah.
They're dead. All your friends are dead.
The moral of the story.
Yeah, the moral of the story is kill yourself. So-
Yeah. I feel like my
yeah.
upbringing is very much what would have happened if Beetlejuice did end up marrying Lydia.
Wait, is your dad Beetlejuice in this
Yeah.
scenario? Okay, got it.
Yeah. Funny enough, too. This is a story that so my dad used to get into fights in the neighborhood. This is back before like gang violence was, people were pulling out guns and stuff. This is like 70s, 80s gang violence. So my dad and his brothers were very notorious for fighting all the time. So my uncles would get into fights, and then my dad would show up, and he earned the nickname Beetlejuice in the hood because they said if you said his name 3 times, he shows up. That's how often my dad showed up to fight. Also, he had bad teeth, so it's a little bit of both. So my dad, so growing up, like as a kid, I would just be constantly told like, yeah, they used to call your dad Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Oh, and he married a teenager.
Yep.
No.
And he married a teenager. There you go. It all fucking goes full circle.
That's 3 for 3, baby.
Yeah, dude, I have to make it my life's goal to play Beetlejuice in a remake.
I think your dad might have been a fucking demon, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm 90% sure.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he's stealing my identity too.
Was this what you were talking
Which
about?
is
earlier?
another Beetlejuice-like move to steal your identity. Jesus Christ. But yeah, no, this is what I was talking about. It all kind of, like, this movie weirdly has, like, some life connections from
Yeah.
I like that. I like that Tim Burton was able to connect with Puerto Rican gangs. They're like, that Tim Burton, man, he's good. You guys seen that Beetlejuice yet? That just came out.
Oh, dude, you know what else though? They're called the Maitlands. Is the last name of the couple.
Really?
Yeah, Maitland is a town in Florida just outside of Orlando, so that's fun.
I'm pretty sure I've done shows in Maitland.
Yeah, Copper Rocket.
I can't remember.
Copper Rocket.
Oh, yeah, Copper Rocket. Yeah, because Maitland's right there from downtown Orlando. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, a little Florida stuff for.
Yeah, what the hell were they
For
talking
our
about? Right,
Florida
guys?
patrons. You say patrons?
Patrons? Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Patreons wouldn't make sense. Patrons
Yeah.
on the Patreon.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So originally, one of the people there was a lot of people that have been considered for the script, and I'm not going to go over them because there's a shit ton, and it's like you also never know like how many of those are accurate because it's just like
Yeah.
we considered so and so, but it also doesn't mean that those people considered saying yes. So I feel like those are kind of cop outs.
Yeah.
For fun
Yeah.
information.
I mean, I feel
sometimes.
like just focusing on just Beetlejuice and
Yeah.
Lydia,
Yeah.
I think are the two like big ones.
Yeah, like pretty much all the teenage around like late teens, early 20s, like women of the time were considered. Like
Mm-hmm.
that was the thing. Like they were giving like these lists of people that were considered, and you're like, oh, so all the big, like, okay, great. Like I'm just gonna name a bunch of like famous people. Like, all right, but there were a couple that I felt like did stick out that I did want to talk about. One was when they originally had like the darker version of the script. They were considering Sammy Davis Jr., who was a little older then, but he's from the Rat Pack, you know, with
Mm-hmm.
Dean Martin, and you know.
Oh my, yeah.
Yeah.
Sammy Davis Jr. as who?
As Beetlejuice, yeah, because the original concept was like this almost like lounge singer style guy who was also like
yeah.
but he was also like funny and quippy, but also demonic. So they were gonna just have Sammy Davis Jr. be
I like
just
that they
kinda dark.
decided to like not have him be a lounge guy and be like, you know,
a car
an
salesman.
80s Florida comic.
Yeah,
Dude, I 100. You know how many times I've met guys that are just like fucking. They don't even realize it though.
yeah.
This regional headliner that's just like, you know, I won't do any more. I won't do more than 2 shows a night. And it's like no one's asking you to.
Yeah.
No one's asking you to.
Yeah, you got to do 2 in a weekend for half the price. You know what? This might have been his moment, right? Where Tim Burton, Sammy Davis Jr. was considered, and Tim Burton was like, "Get me a white guy," because this is like early on in his career.
Yeah, he's
It's
like, you fucking cast Sammy Davis Jr. and I'm walking.
he drew the line in the sand, and then he just kept it. So I'm sure somebody out there is going to be like, "No, there's this person and this person."
Yeah.
Great. Then comment that.
Michael
Thanks.
Keaton crushed that though, dude.
Yeah.
That's like where like, cause like I always forget that Michael Keaton did stand up, and like he was a fucking store guy too. Like
yeah.
he was legitimately doing stand up.
I mean, and
like,
this was the 80s. He was still like, I mean, he was still dabbling, I think, at that point, because he was a past guy, you know.
yeah, and this is where you see that them stand up chops.
Yeah.
Is that Beetlejuice role?
Now, when they did realize that they wanted maybe somebody who was more of an actual comedian, or somebody who was when it was apparent that it was not going to be a standard acting role,
Yeah.
that's when they were like, okay, we need to consider some other people. And one of the people, and I think this would have been so fucking cool, 1988, Sam Kinison was considered.
Oh,
it
yeah.
would have been wild
It
to
would've
see
been
him
fucking
play that.
insane.
Yeah.
I
think
can see Sam Kinison in that role for sure.
For sure, yeah. I think Keaton brought more of a dynamic nature to it, like where you actually go on a roller coaster with him.
Yeah.
But I think Kinison in 88 would have been just coked up and screaming the whole time.
Yeah,
Like,
he would have been on her 100 the entire time.
Yeah, he was a wild dude in 88.
Yeah. I do feel like that role though needed that dynamic. Like cuz like Keaton did so well on the highs and lows of that character.
Yeah, exactly. You needed it to kind of go like
Yeah, and suddenly too, cuz it's that tempo change, that jarring tempo change that makes that character so fucking
yeah.
entertaining to watch.
And he had a little more acting chops. And a great
Mhm.
example is like the kind of thing where you've been on set and everything, because like you know the part where he kicks that tree over or he kicks a tree and then it falls over,
Mhm.
and he looks up and he goes, "Nice fucking model." And
Yeah.
he like yells that. That was improvised. Like the tree wasn't supposed to fall over. Like he just kicked it like in the moment because he was just like ad-libbing and like being wild.
Yeah.
So he kicked the tree and it fell over, and then he screamed, "Nice fucking model." He was like yelling it at the fucking prop people. That's great, man.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh,
Dude, every time he shows up,
Yeah.
like you're just loving every fucking second of it. He's
Yeah.
so fucking good, dude.
it's like you can't wait for him to show up. You know bad shit's gonna happen, but you also know it's gonna be so fun. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
There was also a part where he goes into that, like, I don't know if it's like a strip club whorehouse kind of thing. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, and it's called, like, it's got Dante in the name. It's like referring to Dante's Inferno, and
Mhm.
like, and they all got little devil horns on them and stuff, and like, also that wasn't in the original model of it or whatever, and then the lady in the like
Her
office or whatever.
yeah.
What is it?
she was the one who put it there.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
like, we had to distract him with titties.
Yeah, that was my idea.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so funny. So what was? Oh yeah. So I wanted to check in with Sean on this. Sean, you saw this movie when you were a child, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
kind of. I don't remember it much.
Yeah, you just know that somebody showed you some of it, but you didn't remember.
Yeah, it was a kids' night
Yeah.
at the sports club my family went to, and so there was a bunch of other kids there, and I was never really a movie person, so I think I was just talking in the back. But I remember them referencing Beetlejuice. I remembered you can't say his name 3 times, so
Yeah.
that was basically it. But then every other detail was like, dude, I was not present. I was not. I didn't have my phone back then, dude. I just was using my brain to distract myself.
Yeah, that's that ADHD,
I
baby.
don't. I mean, anyone can do it though too. You know, you can
Yeah.
can easily think of something else instead of watch a movie. You can try it. Try it.
You can really try.
Yeah.
Try it. Honestly.
Right, next time you're watching a movie.
Just don't think. Just think about something
else. Reverse meditation.
Yeah, that's a great way to think of it.
Person without ADHD is just I literally can't. The movie's in front. How can I think of something else?
Yeah.
But this is in front of me.
When was the last time you saw Beetlejuice?
Fuck.
Before we did the rewatch.
I would say probably, I don't know. It's had to be like maybe a year. I honestly,
so you saw it pretty recent then?
yeah,
Okay.
no, I honestly watch it like every couple of years. Like every time I'm just like, it's one of my favorite movies. So
Okay.
I'll rewatch it. It's not top 10 by any means, but it's just one of those movies that where I'm in the mood, I'll watch it. I did a little YouTube sketch where I just did the scene in Beetlejuice, and I painted my face as Beetlejuice, and then I CGI'd Beetlejuice out, Michael Keaton out, and then CGI'd myself in, and I just did line for line.
So,
Yeah.
so you did acting karaoke.
Essentially,
so you
yeah.
did,
Well, I just removed him from it and then did the character of Beetlejuice myself. And it was the scene where Lydia shows up. It was more just to see
Yeah.
if I can do it.
Okay.
I did this Beetlejuice sketch where I did Beetlejuice.
No, I never said it was a sketch. I never said it was a sketch.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, he did.
No, I said it was.
Yeah, he did. Okay,
No,
thank
I
you.
didn't.
Yeah,
I
you
said it was a
sketch.
YouTube thing.
Oh, okay.
I never
yeah.
used the word sketch because it wasn't a
you
sketch.
said YouTube, so I must have inserted
Yeah.
the word
Yeah.
sketch there,
No, I
right?
said it was a YouTube
We'll
thing.
check the
Okay.
footage. We'll check
Yeah.
it.
Go ahead and show that clip. Run
yeah.
that back.
Yeah, no, it was just.
he was wrong.
It took me fucking forever to do it because like I had to find spots where Michael Keaton was standing on one side of the screen and then spots where he's standing on the other. So like
How many
get
movies? How many movies are in would you consider to be one of your favorite movies?
I would say at least like 10 to 15.
Okay, because you said it was nowhere near the top 10.
No, I would say it's probably like I wouldn't say it's nowhere near the top 10. I would say it definitely not in the top 10. If it is in the top 10, it's definitely not in the top 5.
I didn't think Sean has a top 10.
No.
Yeah. No, not at all. Not at
that
all.
was correct.
Yeah.
I don't have a rebuttal. You're right. I
That's
don't.
correct. Okay, so Sean, you don't have much of a memory about it. How was it for you for Ray seeing the movie again? But like now in this context of like we're gonna do a podcast about it, did that change some of the elements of it?
No, I feel like I just enjoyed it just as
Yeah.
much. I've been analytical about the movie before, so it wasn't like I was gonna do any more analysis on it because it's like I've already watched the movie
Yeah.
many times.
Sean, did you have a nice break from us making you watch people get murdered all
Yeah.
night?
Yeah.
I did.
Mm.
Yeah.
This was nice.
Yeah, I like to throw Sean a bone every now and then and go like, here's a movie you can enjoy
Yeah.
without watching someone get their throat slit or something, you know?
Yeah, I didn't need to see
Yeah.
them die in the river. When they fell off the bridge, I was like, oh, this
No,
is nice.
no.
They just when they walked in the house, I was like, I'm assuming they died.
Yeah.
This is good. It happened off screen.
Yeah. I fucking when I did do that scene, one of the things that because like I kept like watching it, seeing how Michael Keaton's doing it, and then doing it myself, and then like one of the things I noticed is a lot of crackhead energy, a lot of homeless
Oh
crackhead.
yeah.
energy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you've never had a guy like Beetlejuice ask you for money,
Oh yeah, yeah.
then you live in a small town. I don't know.
Because like the
Come
scene,
to the big city.
especially
the
the scene where
Beetlejuice
he's
are.
just like, just say it. It's just like,
Yeah,
come on, just give me $1.
yeah.
Just $1.
Come
$1.
on,
Come on. Come on. You already give me 50 cents. What's $1 in her?
So this movie, I had an interesting talk with Ellis actually about this, where we were talking about how there's Ghostbuster people and there's Beetlejuice people.
Ooh,
And I was
yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah. I'm a Beetlejuice person.
yeah. It's just when you're a Ghostbusters person, you're somebody that like you can fuck with dark stuff, but
Yeah, you don't go
But
that
you-
far.
but it's not your thing. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, I can fuck with that, but it's not like. But Beetlejuice people are like, Ghostbusters is fine,
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
but I need that dark shit. You know what I'm
Yum.
saying?
Yeah, I think both sides have their merits, and both sides have their crazies too.
Yeah, yeah. You got any more
Sure.
on that?
Yeah, what's a nice middle ground?
Yeah.
What's a moderate? I like. I have nothing. Airbud.
Yeah.
Well, I
Some
know
people
what,
are an Airbud person, and some people are an Angels in the Outfield kid.
Ooh.
what's a Ghostbusters person? Because I know the Beetlejuice people so well.
Yeah.
There's a little overlap between Beetlejuice and A Nightmare Before Christmas kids. But they are different groups. There's an
Absolutely.
overlap, but there are different groups.
Mhm.
I've met a lot of Beetlejuice people. Love Beetlejuice people. Very much the My Chemical Romance crowd, though. Very much the emo kid.
Mm.
Sure.
Yeah. What the fuck are the Ghostbusters people?
Just good people. Just stand up people. You know,
Yeah.
someone you would ask to watch your laptop at a coffee shop.
John's never seen Ghostbusters, though.
I've seen parts. They
Yeah.
played it at the
Yeah.
bar I was working at. I watched like a solid 15, then another 15, and then another 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You saw it in pieces.
Ghostbusters?
I got
is
the
pretty
major
good.
plot points.
Well, I'd say a Ghostbusters person. Ghostbusters is just more mainstream. It fucks with ghosts and stuff and talks about dark stuff, but it doesn't require you to be dark to connect to it
right.
or appreciate
right,
dark
right.
stuff to connect to it. Whereas Beetlejuice, the main connection is you're like, oh, I'm kind of like Lydia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when she
I mean-
said that, what's that line she said? Oh, yeah, I was like, oh, they're probably eating that up right now. She's like,
Oh, yeah.
what did she say?
I've always been fascinated with. I should have written it down.
She was.
It was one that I remember I said to you. I was like, iconic line right there,
Yeah.
and then I
Yeah.
didn't write it down. What a dickhead! You guys know the line.
Look
Oh,
at
Yeah,
roll
there
the
you go.
clip. Zach had no idea.
no idea.
No idea.
But yeah, she has multiple lines that make you go like, oh yeah, that's how I feel. Like,
yeah.
or that's how I felt at that age, especially. You know.
There's one line that I love so much, where they're like, oh, it says that most people won't see the dead. Like there's like, you mean can't? And there's like, no, it just says won't.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like we refuse to see them.
Yeah. They don't want to see the upsetting thing.
Yeah. I was like, this is so stupid.
Oh, the line is, "I am in fact strange and unusual."
Yeah,
I am
that's
strange
what I
myself.
saw.
yeah.
I knew it
am
was
myself
unusual. I was
strange,
trying to remember
but-
the other word.
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
I had that epiphany.
That's a T-shirt.
It sure is.
Yeah, that's a T-shirt. There you go. If
You
you
guys
guys
want-
want us to make that T-shirt, we'll make it.
I'll just make it.
Beyond copyrights, who gives a fuck?
It's just words. Come on.
There's another like line that I love so much. Just
Sure.
in the joke writing. Beetlejuice reading a paper and he's like, let me go to the biggest business section, and he pulls up the obituaries.
yeah.
I don't know why I love that fucking that little joke.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, right?
Hey, honestly, this movie was funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
And
There's a lot of great lines.
I think part of the thing I bring up about the Beetlejuice person versus Ghostbuster person, but like it's an interesting thing in the 80s where like kids, I think it was like the first time that kids started to see stuff where like on a regular basis where adults were where it kind of felt like, is this for kids though?
Mhm.
Like, all these 80s movies kind of had that feeling of like, kind of like dark stuff that maybe might not be for kids. But then as it turns out, all these parents were letting their kids see these movies, or they were seeing them however, and then they
Yeah.
wanted toys and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they saw like all these 80s movies, like saw the kids' reaction. So there's stuff from the 80s that like now you look back at and you're like, why would there be Beetlejuice toys?
Right.
But there was a Beetlejuice action figures.
There was a Beetlejuice cartoon.
There was a Beetlejuice cartoon, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember watching it. I remember watching the Beetlejuice cartoon. But that trend, like those dark cartoons, coming out of Beetlejuice and coming out of like the because there was a Ghostbusters cartoon too. That trend kept going through the 80s, and then you saw like things like Courage the Cowardly Dog. Every like famous like cartoon had like some sort of like dark spooky episode and stuff like that. I'm like, there's like one episode of SpongeBob where he gets stuck in like
Rock bottom.
rock bottom. Yeah, there's like that sort of like horror trend within like kid media. Like feels like kind of starts with Beetlejuice and just continues on.
Yeah.
You see less of it. You still see it. I think the most recent one I can think of is like Gravity Falls.
Okay.
But you still see that that trend here and there. Not as much, but like yeah, there were a lot of like almost goth like shows, you know.
Yeah, just like that darker, even the animation
Yeah.
style of those cartoons, even the stuff that wasn't like horror based was just all dark.
Yeah.
It's sick what they're doing to our children. I agree.
You
And they
remember
must be
Salad
stopped.
Fingers?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Remember Salad Fingers?
Can we
do.
not? I don't want to do that.
Salad
I
Fingers?
don't want to talk about salad fingers.
Why
I
not?
don't
You
know.
would love Salad Fingers.
I don't like it.
Okay.
He has trauma.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. If you want to talk about salad fingers, we
I
can.
don't think he didn't have
If
much
you
to
really
say.
want to.
Yeah, it's just the whole fucking concept was just like it was like a serial killer. So what is it? Salad Fingers was like a serial killer, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a
Coming
while.
straight
I just
out of,
remember
like-
his face.
Yeah, that's very millennial shit, like early YouTube millennial shit,
Yeah.
but also still coming out of shit like Beetlejuice and Courage the Cowardly Dog and stuff like that. It just had darker tones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was just looking this up. You know, Beetlejuice people are more likely to commit crimes
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
than Ghostbusters people.
I like that he said that, and it's 3 cameras on him showing that he's never touched a phone or a laptop. He's like,
I just looked it up.
I was just looking this up. and
Even though the
there's-
3 cameras on me did not
Turner-
show me doing that.
Turner went and checked,
Yeah.
and that's actually true. So
Yeah, I have a screen right off camera. You can't see it. It just.
So
oh, did you see this? It says, "Dick gotta have it's." He's got a massive hog. What were we talking about?
okay.
Go ahead and run that clip.
Yeah, go ahead and run that clip. So the sequel to this movie originally was going to be made right after. Like, they saw the success. They were like, oh, this is a movie that could use a sequel. Everybody was signed on. Like, people were like, hell yeah,
Yeah.
let's do this. Like, they were just going to go right into the next one. And then Tim Burton and Michael Keaton got Batman.
Oh.
And then they got another Batman. And then by the time they're done with 2 Batmans that made a shitload of money, and also the action figures and all that other stuff, by the time they were done doing those, everybody kind of just forgot about making a sequel to Beetlejuice. And I'm sure many of the studios were just like, well, you know, maybe it wouldn't be worth it. But the original concept for the sequel was going to be called Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian.
Oh God.
I like it. Go on.
Yeah, and they were gonna be like go on a vacation, and then he starts to like, you know, shows up, and Lydia, you know, has to deal with him. But I do believe it was without Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin. They were moving on to like Lydia's continued issues with Beetlejuice being in her life. But yeah, they never wound up making that. What would you guys think that a sequel should be?
I mean, That's a good one. They could have done like a ski vacation.
Ski vacation would have been fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels very 80s. Going on a ski vacation.
Beetlejuice goes to Europe.
Ooh.
It goes to the Olympics in France. Maybe
This
that's
just
what the
feels
new
like
one's about.
Oh yeah.
Episodes of the cartoon. That's
Is
what
that
it
what
feels like. It's just like an episode of a cartoon. Like, oh, what if he goes to Hawaii? It doesn't feel like a full-on feature film.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. I've never seen I didn't even know there was a cartoon.
Well, as we learned from our Burbs and Elvira episode,
Yeah.
you don't need a whole lot to convince a studio to give you some money.
Yeah. Maybe there's a moment where Beetlejuice is like he's making juice. Maybe he makes juice. And I think that'd be really good. I think people do crave that, actually. I think if you have a sequence where it just shows Beetlejuice and say, well, then listen, here's why I'm named what I'm named. And he goes on, because he can't say his
But
name.
it's not spelled like juice. It's Geist. Beetle Geist.
Probably like copyright issues or something.
Well, signed on to the new one is Michael Keaton, Catherine O'Hara, Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
The new one coming out.
Yeah.
Right now.
Alec Baldwin will not be partaking, or Gina Davis that I know of.
So
Why?
now, was Michael Keaton also in The Passion of Christ?
Was it?
No, he wasn't.
Oh, okay. So who was Batman?
Jim Caviezel.
Okay.
Who's Jim Caviezel?
Who the fuck is Jim Caviezel?
He played Christ, who
That
got
was
struck
Mel
by
Gibson.
lightning 2 times. I like that we're both doing our bits now. This is
Yeah, I
disgusting.
know.
Let's
Oh,
get
yeah,
out of it.
yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
so anyway, so in the sequel,
Yeah, don't you dare do that ever again. You hear me, guys?
in the sequel, Catherine O'Hara shows back up, but I don't think Jeffrey Jones does, because Jeffrey Jones was arrested for child pornography.
Oh.
You may remember him from classic films such as Ferris Bueller's Day Off and that other one.
Mm-hmm.
That guy, I don't think Hollywood's letting him back in. You know, their
No,
their
no,
their
you
pedo
shouldn't, yeah.
reputation hasn't been great as of late.
No.
No.
So I think, especially after that Nickelodeon documentary, they were like, "Hey, we're making another Beetlejuice." They're like, "No, Jeffrey Jones." Got it. Yep.
Cool.
Or wait, are we leaning into it?
Yeah.
They're still letting Drake perform. I don't. What's protocol here?
They're not like us. Okay. So those are all the fun facts, I think.
I think Matthew Broderick's still doing things. Well, he didn't fuck a kid. Well, I mean,
Wait, what did he do?
oh, he ran someone over in Ireland.
Oh, that's the same. Yes,
Yeah,
you told me.
Matthew
And
That's not the same thing at all.
And he
No.
and he did his time by avoiding
the Irish.
time.
Yeah, by avoiding the Irish. Anytime he's in the room with an
Yeah.
Irish person, he's just like, I gotta go.
As far as I know, the new movie, I can't wait to see it. We didn't want to talk about we didn't want to wait till it came out and talk about it because we don't want to do spoilers on something
Yeah.
brand new. You know, we do spoilers on movies that have been out for fucking 40 years or whatever. So
Yeah, because we
Um,
would have been done like Long Legs, Maxine, and
Yeah,
stuff, but,
exactly.
you know,
yeah.
we don't want to fuck it up for you people.
So the new one, as far as I know, Lydia has a daughter. And,
Yeah.
And so there's
Jenna Ortega.
great casting.
Yeah, because she's kind of like the way she played Wednesday very much is very reflective of Winona Ryder's
Yeah.
Lydia. So it does kind of play similar roles there.
Larry Wilson, who developed the story for Beetlejuice, also came up with the story for the Addams Family.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
For the second one?
Whoa.
Or just the story, the first
The original
the original
the
story?
original Addams Family film. Yeah.
When did that come out?
Oh. Well, I
90s?
mean like the second Beetlejuice.
No, the guy from this Beetlejuice.
Oh, the new one.
the guy who came up with the concept of
Of
Beetlejuice
Beetlejuice.
as a story.
When did
Ah.
the Addams Family come out?
1992.
Oh.
91,
The Addams
92?
Family.
Yeah.
I thought that was
yeah,
older
Addams
in
Family.
Beetlejuice. That's crazy.
Yeah, we should just do 1 and 2 back to back. Or well, I guess they did do a remake, kind of.
Addams Family?
Yeah.
Wednesday? Tim Burton's? It's okay. It's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah.
Addams Family like hits like a fucking very interesting note that, like, I don't know. There's no way to hit that note with just like a teenage drama.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Hmm.
I feel like we kind of touched on everything that we can touch on without, watching the second movie. I fucking love Beetlejuice. I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. I watched it in 2020, but I don't really remember.
Changed my life.
Yeah. And then COVID happened. Coincidence? No. I don't really remember a lot different from that, like watching it then.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just kind of like casually having it on, not really like super focused on it like
Yeah.
I was last night. And it was cool to like really watch it. What are you doing, Sean? What is that?
I was like, yeah, I love not paying attention to things.
How old were you when you watched it?
Oh, dude, the first time I saw it, I had to be like, I probably was like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What freaked you out the most? Because I feel like the Beetlejuice head on the snake, that
Mhm.
freaked me out when I was a kid.
Yeah, the face stretch thing was
Oh,
pretty,
the
yeah,
nose thing?
just the like
Yeah.
pulling it. Oh, and
That was
I
freaky.
but vividly, there's that stuff that you remember vividly, and like
Mm-hmm.
that scene where he like goes to hold her hand and it crumbles. Oh, dude, that fucked me
Yeah,
up
that
when
one
I was
does
a
hit
kid.
me in a weird place.
Yeah. That like super visceral type stuff where you're like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that shit fucked me up when I was a kid. What was the part that upset you the most?
Nothing. I'm not a coward.
All right.
I'm what is it? I'm strange and unusual.
Yeah, just because you got to see it at 28.
Yeah,
fuck
yeah,
you.
it hit different. No,
Yeah.
actually, that was a good pick though. I feel like that would probably be my number one of the hand crumbling.
Hand
Yeah,
crumbling,
yeah.
hand crumbling did get me.
Because the big visuals with like the snakes and stuff, they were so over the top that it was like it wasn't that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was like on purpose. They kind of wanted it to be more
Yeah.
campy for that stuff. But
Yeah, the head
Yeah.
was freaky though. I always
Yeah.
felt like the Beetlejuice head on a snake thing was freaky.
yeah.
Mm.
So let's
Looks
hop.
strange.
Let's hop into the the finale of the episode where we talk about the Rotten Tomatoes scores and the budget and box office. Rotten Tomatoes
I'm gonna
scores,
nail
boys. What do
these.
you think?
I'm nailing these.
Yeah,
you want me
you
to
got
set
it.
the tone real quick?
Yeah, dude. You,
Jeez.
if I do
Yeah, you're
remember,
pretty good at that.
you kicked some dick last time. So,
Okay. What
yeah.
are we doing first?
Well, we're gonna do Rotten Tomatoes first. So critics and audience.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I hope it's high. I'm gonna say, nah. Audiences is 88, and critic is 81.
Okay, you got 88 and 81.
I'm gonna give audience score a 84, and critics I'm gonna do 86 or 76.
84, 76.
84, 76.
Man, you guys really got in there.
Got close.
Critic score 86. Audience score 82.
Ooh.
Ooh, I reversed them kind of.
Yeah,
Damn.
but man, I think Sean takes that.
I'll take it. I'll
Yeah,
take that.
Sean
Nice,
takes
dude.
that. All right, good job, Sean.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know what you win? Another movie.
Oh.
You get to watch another movie right
Oh.
after this episode. Okay, and finally, we're going to do budget and box office. 1988, Tim Burton, starring Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis, Winona Ryder, Michael Keaton, Catherine O'Hara, Jeffrey Jones, Dick Cavett, Robert Goulet. My God.
Right, you said the tone this time.
Oh, okay. We're doing budget.
Budget.
Budget, baby. This was a big budget because like they've already got
Doing
a lot
both.
of well-known actors in it. I'm gonna say that the budget was 40 million.
And give us the box office too.
This is a big movie. This is we're gonna say 85 million.
22 million and 70 million.
Man, you guys have really tightened up. I mean, you guys
Yeah,
you
we're
guys
doing
are
a
like
lot.
you guys are like in the ballpark with everything lately.
Hell yeah, dude.
Talk to
Okay. Budget $15 million.
Okay.
Ooh, I was way over.
The practical effects helped keep the budget super low for it. So they
Okay.
were, and then also the people that were in this were, a lot of them were coming up. They weren't actually the stars they became.
Oh,
So they were a little bit
gotcha.
cheaper. They were known,
Yeah.
but they weren't like massive yet.
Mhm.
Because Michael Keaton hadn't done Batman yet. Because this was like Michael Keaton's like staple, but Batman put him over the top.
Yeah.
Same with Tim Burton, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
Batman always does that.
So Sean gets it, I think. 22 million and 70 million.
70 million?
It was because it was 15 million budget and 75 million box.
Oh,
office.
75. Oh,
Nice.
But you fucking you eked it out on Rotten Tomatoes, so don't get too fucking cocky. Okay?
yeah. I won't.
You barely beat him.
I'm gonna get cocky. I hope that picked up. I'm
Dude,
gonna
that
get.
plant's got to be in his
It
face,
definitely
right?
picked up. You spoke straight into.
I'm gonna get cocky.
it.
I'm gonna get so fucking cocky. You're gonna have to call me Dick Have it. Because of all my cockiness.
Oh, Dickie boy.
Back to you guys.
Oh my god. Well, that was our episode on Beetlejuice. It was a lot of fun. It was a little weird.
Oh, such a good episode. I love that so much. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
You can't whisper over him though, because like
Yeah.
it can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's full volume whisper.
Oh.
it doesn't mean that like you can't get picked up. You're speaking directly into it.
I guess if you like whispered away from it, it would be a whisper.
Hey, technology, am I right? Who knows these things?
So anyway, that's our episode on Beetlejuice. It was a little weird to not have two films. It was almost like we had too much freedom to where we were like, wait, how much are we allowed to do? I guess you guys are so used to me like trying to wrangle you tonight. You were like you'd make a joke and then you'd look at me like this.
He's letting us do this.
I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, but it was fun. I felt like it was a fun episode, and I'm super stoked to see the new movie. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Dude,
Beetlejuice
me
is
too.
good.
I'm hyped.
Because it feels like it's going to be something that's like genuinely made and not just like the cash grab kind of thing that we've seen so many times with
Right,
horror.
because it's been so long.
Yeah.
It's been so long. It was like it didn't need to be done, but they're doing it just because they kind of like feel it.
Yeah.
You know,
Did you guys like my shades this episode?
this budget though has got to be way bigger.
Oh yeah.
because it's like Michael Keaton, Jenna Ortega,
For sure.
you know, Winona Ryder. Like these are all big names now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, for sure. I like the idea that Tim Burton just woke up one day in like 2023 and went, "Fuck, I forgot to make the movie."
Well, I mean, it's gone so far though, because
Yeah.
they even had like a Broadway Beetlejuice show,
Yeah.
which I've seen the casting for him.
Well, it's Broadway, so it's fine.
Broadway. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Green Day had a Broadway show, you know.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Yeah, no, and it's got like a solid fan base. I feel like it's constantly making money. The merch makes tons of money. It's so solidified in like culture. It's Beetlejuice is big, dude.
Yeah.
You know, they did a house at HHN last 2020. They did a house.
Oh wow.
It was the only house that opened on 2020 because it was in Florida. And we were like, just put up some plastic and be fine. And it was fine. I might have gotten COVID from
it was fine except for the dead people.
Yeah,
That's-
it was good. It was a good house.
Go ahead, Sean.
I was just gonna say this in theme, I guess. At least this was Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
Dead people.
Yeah.
Pretty horrific.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
had a
pretty good
COVID
thing.
house. It was called every fucking
Yeah.
nursing home in Florida.
Yeah. They did the second year too. It was the following year they did it because they already had the house set up. So they were like, we're not
Right.
going to tear this down. We're just going to put it for the next year,
Yeah.
which was great.
Yeah, really stick it to COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not gonna let you change us. We are who we are.
Yeah, that was definitely Florida, and everyone was just like, "Can you just stop being you for a little bit? Like, just stop it."
Nah,
And
dog.
we were like, "Nah, we're gonna take it even further."
It's like Ben has that great bit where like the WWE was made an essential business so it could keep functioning during COVID. Yeah, it was, they're Tampa based now, I believe, is where
Yeah.
the home is at.
It's
But
pronounced Tampa Bay.
thank you.
All right.
Well, that's our episode. Thanks for joining us. Join the Patreon if you haven't already. It's a lot of fun over there. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, share, all that shit. And on behalf of myself, Ray Reyes,
Yo.
Sean Dolan,
Sean Dolan.
and of course, Turner the dog.
Turner the dog.
Turner the producer dog.
Turner the producer dog.
Who did nothing but fuck everything up this episode.
He was just trying to be spontaneous, and we can learn a thing or two from him.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Follow your instincts, guys.
All right, we'll see you next
Bye.
time. Bye. Oh, I almost hit it.
A man getting bit by an alligator and screaming.
Swallow this.